mother of everything. Gaia was the personification of Earth in ancient Greek mythology, is often regarded as the mother of everything beautiful in the world. Gaia was born either from nothingness or chaos. She gave birth to Uranus, with whom she later mated with to have the Titans, who became the parents of many of the Olympians. Gaia opposed the rule of all three leaders of the universe, Uranus, Kronos, and Zeus. However, in the end, she had to acknowledge her grandson Zeus as the highest king of all gods and humans. Gaia's birth and children. Gaia, known as the Earth, is described as the ever-sure foundation of all the deathless ones who held the perks of snowy Olympus. She was the first deity to emerge after chaos. The vast emptiness came into existence. Tartarus, representing the underworld, and Eros, symbolizing love, followed her. Some think that these were the three actual children of the dark primeval void, but they likely belong to the same very first generation of gods. Gaia's first children. Gaia had 3 children on her own: Uranus, who represented the sky, Uri, the embodiment of mountains, and Pontus, the personification of the sea. Initially, she was with her eldest son, Uranus, and together they had 18 offspring. The first 12 were the Titans, 6 females: Rhea, Themos, Momosai, Phoebe, Thethi. And 6 males: Oceanus, Coeus, Creus, Hyperion, Lapetus, Kronos. Next, she bore the 3 Cyclopses: Bronze, Theopes, Arges. Finally, the 3 Hecatoshires: Cotus, Brieu, and Gyges. Afterwards, Gaia mated with Pontus and brought into being 5 more children: Nereus, Thamos, Phorcys, Ceto, Erebia. Gaia versus Uranus. Though lustful and unrestrained, Uranus despised his children. He hated them so much that he forced each one back into the earth, their mother's womb, right at the moment of birth. Eventually, overwhelmed by grief and suffering, Gaia created a strong sickle and sought to assistance of her children to help remove Uranus from power. Gaia versus Kronos. Kronos, who held deep resentment for his father, was the only one unafraid to support Gaia's plan. He followed Gaia's guidance and concealed himself in a different part of her womb, lying in wait for the opportunity to strike against Uranus. The opportunity arose that very night when Uranus attempted to sleep with Gaia once more. Kronos reached out and castrated his father. Later, he liberated his brothers and sisters and ascended to become the new king of the higher gods. Gaia's later progeny. The blood that flowed from Uranus's wound fell upon Gaia, resulting in her bearing many more children. The 3 Erinyes, or Fates, the many giants, and then even more numerous Meliads, the nymphs of Ash Tree. Kronos. Following a brief time of peace and happiness, Kronos began to govern the planet in the same ruthless and authoritarian manner as his father had done before him. He swallowed all but the smallest of 6 offspring and imprisoned his brothers, the Cyclopses and the Hecatoschires. In Tartarus, he was alarmed by a prophecy and fearing rebellion. Gaia's wise counsel to Kronos' wife Rhea was to replace it with a stone which spread the kids who would eventually become Zeus. However, even after successfully freeing his brothers and sisters, Zeus was unable to overthrow Kronos. At least not until Gaia advised him to free the Cyclopses and the Hecatoschires from Tartarus and form an alliance with them. This did the trick, and after 10 years the Olympians won the war against the Titans, and Zeus became the third ruler of gods. The giant Tonnessee, even at his most oppressive, Zeus was a superior leader compared to those before him. Nonetheless, this was of no concern to Gaia, as he also had the audacity to imprison some of her offspring. Especially, he confined the Titans, allowing them to languish in Tartarus. Gaia called upon the strongest of her remaining offspring, the giants, instructing them to eliminate Zeus. The giant Tiamat, a prolonged conflict, ultimately saw the Olympians triumph, solidifying Zeus's authority. The Typhonus. Gaia was filled with fury after her defeat. In her rage, she united with her brother Tartarus and brought forth one of the most terrifying beings in Greek mythology. Typhonus, the fire-breathing dragon and progenitor of all monsters. Typhonus provided to be an incredibly powerful adversary, successfully battling nearly all of the Olympian gods, including Zeus, until he was ultimately subdued by Zeus's lightning bolts. The truths. The truths. Following the defeat of Typhonus, Gaia acknowledged her loss and recognized Zeus as the higher ruler among gods. To demonstrate her loyalty, she cautioned her grandson that the child his first wife Metis was expecting would eventually challenge his reign. Many years later, Gaia was present at Zeus's wedding to his 7th and final wife Hera, where she presented the Queen of Olympus with the golden apple of the Hesperides.